Hey guys, how's it going? This is Kuro, and today we're going to be doing a deck profile of, well, my Messiah deck, as you can see in the description. Um, I had a lot of fun with this deck. This deck is really fun. I finally got to take it to a tournament with, especially with 16G zones. This is why my video has been taking so long to come out, is because I wanted to wait for 16G zones to come out, and I wanted to make sure that this deck was the one I wanted to do first. So before I do that, let me go ahead and get everything ready, and here we go. Okay, so we're gonna do the starter first. First we have this is Neon Messiah, right? Yeah, Neon Messiah. I really like Neon Messiah. It's probably one of my favorite units to play with. Um, it's just a great unit. A lot of people have been playing with the butterfly unit. I wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. I looked at it and said I used it once. I didn't really get anything out of it. And you kind of had to. We're in a meta, not a yeah. We're in a meta where you kind of do need to use your starter either use your starter as soon as possible, or you make it so it's kind of a throwaway. This is kind of both. It's not necessary, but it really does give you the advantage, especially if you're on Harmonix Messiah or you're an Ultra Ego. You lock this unit, you attack, and you have Amnesty as your turn one for some reason, and then you just activate the ability to put in the soul and get another Alter Ego, so you can stride next turn. It helps it build advantage in your hand, and also you can start adding to your soul. It's what I like in this unit. Or I like this unit. This is one of my favorite units. I think this is a unit I prefer over the other one. There's a butterfly one. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, my favorite starter came from the trial deck. Really nice looking. I wish they had a special hollow version. Alright, so going down the line for grade 3s, we're playing 4 Alter Egos. This is obviously your main unit for the deck. Very self-explanatory. GB2, anytime a unit is unlocked, either on your field or my field, I get to draw a card. And upon stride, counterblast 1, choose a rear guard. So maybe like you're the starter, you lock it, and then choose one of your opponent's rear guards and lock it as well. Very nice. It also gives itself it gives that stride unit plus 5,000 until the end of the turn. So that's really good. And that's the thing. 5,000 power is something that we usually forget about. So most times people are like, "Oh, you're only attacking for 26, whatever, G guard," and I'll throw it out of 5. That's 2 to pass, and I'll be like, "Sir, that's 1 to pass." But definitely a nice unit to play. This is obviously your main unit to play because there's no other reason you shouldn't play it because you're building messiahs. Next up, we have 3 Lady Gunner of the Neutron Star. This is your secondary unit you want to play. She doesn't really do much other than sit there and be cool. She actually has a really good skill. GB1, when she's placed on the rear guard, choose one of your own units, other rear guards, lock it, and choose one of your opponent's rear guards and lock it as well. So that is actually good for a good. That's a good thing if you want to lock your field and lock their field as well. So playing 3Ds is fine. Playing 4 would be great. I don't have a 4th one on me, so for the longest time I've been playing it with 3. So for my last unit for my 8 grade 3s, I've actually been playing. I don't even know how to say his name, whatever that is. I like this. This is one of my. This is a unit I found in a box at my store. After the tournament, I didn't play with this in my deck during the tournament, so I put this in after the tournament and just played around with it. I was like, let's try it. It was nice. People were like, that's only what 11k. I guess I can. I guess I'll let it hit. And I'm like, okay, and I'll lock one of my own units, which will cause a lot of chain reactions in my deck. So just nice to have. It's definitely not recommended for the deck. If I had anything, I would play a 4th Neutron Star. But just fun, just nice. All right. For grade 2s, we have 4 Arrestor Messiahs. A lot of people have been just putting in 2, and I have to say, I kind of look at this in the sense of it being like I have the option to locking their units and my own units since it says back row rear guard. It doesn't say specify which field. It's also 11k attacker, very nice. It's also a nice target to be fodder for anything else if you're done with it. You can also just intercept with it. It's another unit to use. But I like playing this at a 4 just because I want to take advantage of blocking things as much as possible. Taking minor control of your field or my own field to gain advantage is always a good thing. So I play 4 of those just because why not? And we have 3 Awakening Messiahs. Everyone knows why this is here. Anytime this unit is unlocked, you may choose a rested unit and stand it back up and give it plus 2,000. This is one of your targets. This is one of your great units that you play in the back row. It's not actually that bad. I actually do like it, especially for the fact that it's just like, let me just pump up one of my own units. It also gives my rear guards another attack. I wanted to actually cut this down to 2, but I actually do like it at 3. I've also thought about the 4, but didn't really help out too much. Next up, we have 3 Lady Battler of the Gravity Well. Obviously, it's a good one. You choose a target to lock. You have your grade 2 here if you want to lock that. Lock it, give itself plus 4,000, and if you have Amnesty as your Vanguard, this is my own tip right now. If you're on Amnesty as your Vanguard and you have her on the field, go ahead and lock Awakening Messiah, or maybe something that'll unflip damage. I don't know what you would do, but it's pretty cool. I think that's really great. So attack for 13. Sometimes it may attack for 13 because it gives itself plus 4. You can do a lot of combos with this. This makes a nice target to restand if you use Awakening Messiah, or if you unlock the Awakening Messiah. So yeah, gives you targets. You have a lot of targets in this deck, especially for my build right now. I have that. And because I didn't play any more of these, and because this is for tournament wise and everything, I play 1 Duskblade. There's no reason for me to play this, to be honest. I look at this and I'm like, I don't really need this, but I'll keep it in here just in case, and it's just the 1. It makes a nice unit to kind of call if I want to start locking their field if we're playing that kind of game. But definitely a unit that I like to play just in case. It's also a nice grade 2 unit to play. Sometimes you want to use the other units. But definitely, again, favorite unit to have one of. It's not a blaster blade, it's just a unit to have. That's it. And yeah, it's pretty cool for the grade 2s. I actually do like the grade 2 lineup a lot, the way it is. I do want to play some other units in it, but I looked at that and said, this is the most optimal thing. Optimizing your deck is the most important thing. You should always be doing that instead of being like, oh, I like this card because this card does this. It's like, okay, well, does it optimally work with your deck? And if the answer is no, obviously you don't play it. Next up, we have 4 Cosmoreiths. They're SPs because I got it from my friend, my buddy Rin, because he's the one who helped me get this deck, or helped me work on the deck and everything. Well, this is where I got the deck anyways, but I made some adjustments and everything to make it kind of suited for me. Instead of suited for another player. I play 4 of this because I want to make sure I unflip damage. Also, it's a perfect guard, so why not play these? You can play the other perfect guards if you want to. This deck actually does unflip a lot. So the freedom of what you want is in there. But I'm going to keep these just because they're on flippers, just in case of that small error that I make. Before someone says, oh, making errors, that's a little weird. Everyone makes errors, guys. Obviously, you got to play 4 Destiny Dealers. There's no other point to not playing it. You want to make sure you stride because the deck is G-base. G-base is the term that a lot of people have been using. Well, G-reliant is what people have been saying. I say G. It's G-base. So essentially, you play 4 of these just because why not? And also, it makes a good unit. You can use one of these to call or to get another Alter Ego in hand. Especially if you have a Neutron Star in your hand, you're like, I don't want to ride this. I might as well use this. So definitely a better choice. Also, Stride Fodder. And next up, we're playing 3 Dark Metal Chameleons. Anytime it gets unlocked, you can unflip the damage. It's also got resist, which is really good. I can choose my rearguard to lock it. Also, so fun story is this does not stop Diablo. It really does not. Resist does not stop it from doing anything else. Yes, resist does not stop Diablo with this. So yeah, if I have this on the field and if I have Diablo on the field, I pretty much die. Because I can't retire this, so people will be targeting everything, and I'll be like, oh, I'll retire this and this, and Dark Metal Chameleon. They'll be like, nope, can't, got resist. It's because I'm choosing it. So anything that gets chosen, anytime it says choose, it doesn't matter if it's choose your, choose my, choose his, choose hers. It means that you can't choose it. Nobody can choose it. But sadly enough, you can choose that to lock, which apparently is the thing that gets around it. I found this was the weirdest thing about Dark Metal Chameleon, which got confusing to me, and I said I'm not gonna. I want to play these, but I don't want to. But I can choose it as the lock target. Yes, it's really weird. So I can choose it for my own effects. Opponents can't choose it for their effects. But if their effect is being active, and that I have to choose it, it means that I can't retire it. Because of his effects, I can't retire it. Alright, now for that long explanation, we're done. We can actually go to the next unit, which is 3 Sacrifice Messiahs. Anytime another unit is locked, you can lock this unit, countercharge, and give another unit plus 3,000. I locked this unit, I'm going to lock that unit. I just locked 2 units. Cool. It's very self-explanatory, and as you can tell, I'm going for the let me make sure I can do this next turn as well. And I keep doing the same thing over and over again. Copy and paste. And a lot of people will say, that's kind of boring, isn't it? Kind of is. I won't lie. I won't lie to you guys. It gets kind of boring. But yeah, let's get on to the trigger lineup because it's another important thing. 4 heal triggers. I'm playing these ones just because I like the way they look and because that flavor text. Next up we have 8 of these crits. They're just very generic. There's no reason I play these crits. These crits will not change. These versions of the crits will not change how you play the game. As you can see here, these crits, these triggers, they don't change how you play your own deck. They come out randomly. And just because I'm playing this one over a certain other crit trigger doesn't mean anything. I'm playing these because these are the ones available to me. And last but not least, we also have Blink Messiah. Or those. Blink Messiah is obviously put in the soul when my alter ego Vanguard attacks, my unit with alter ego in its name attacks. I think it's Messiah actually. Well, when my Messiah attacks, give it plus 5,000 and draw a card. This helps feed the soul. It's also a bad sign when you have a shit ton of these in your hand, and you use all 4 at the same time. It happened in 1 game already. It was great. I drew like 12. I drew like 9 cards that turn. It was fantastic. All right. So with all that, obviously we got the main deck done. This is the Stride deck. Now the Stride deck, gonna be honest, a little confusing. There's a couple of the cards in here where I'm gonna tell you that. Well, I'll show you all the units that I would play in my. I would show you all the cards that you can play. The ratios can change how you feel. It should never be because I told you to. And I will tell you what I played during the night. I'll play you during that night once I get to that unit. First of all, we got 3 Amnesty Messiahs. I was thinking about playing a 4th. Decided 3 is actually pretty good. There's no reason to play any more than that. It's actually pretty cool. I have the 1 SCR. I was thinking about trading off, but I was like, you know what? I want to at least ride it. Have a special one to ride. So I like having the odd one out. It's pretty cool. Next up we have. Well, let me move these out of the way. Next up we got 2 Excelix Messiahs. Yeah, they're Excelix Messiahs. They do the same thing as Amnesty. They're pretty cool. I love them. Love them to death. These are probably pretty fantastic. Next up we have 4 Big Crunch Dragons. It keeps your opponents locked. It can Omega lock a column, even if it has a resist unit on it. You choose the unit that doesn't have resist and lock that unit, and the column gets locked. Resist. You can get around it. It's okay, guys. I'm playing 1 Seabreeze, just in case for that occasion. It also makes a nice vanilla unit to just ride, because why the hell not, if I really need to do that. And also, it's just in case if somebody's like, I don't have a grade 2, and I'm like, alright, I'm going to punish you for that. I am the Messiah. Last but not least, well, not last but not least, the second to last, because the new set has just come out and I was waiting for the 16G zones. Obviously, you played this one for your Messiah deck because it locks the back row unit. It combos well if you have a lock target you have is either anything in the back row. Lock targets you have is Awakening or is Arousal or Awakening Messiah and Dark Metal Chameleon. The reason is because they do something really important when they unlock. So having them pre-locked beforehand is good. And last but not least, Jesus Christ, I can get this right. 2 Trans Ellis. I love this card. This card is hilarious. It literally goes, people look at me and go, "Ha, you have 1 counterblast. You have to choose something really important to keep like anything." So if you used the G Guardian before, obviously you think about this and you're like, man, I don't know how to do this. What am I going to do? I'm just going to lock your field and my own field. Whatever. You can do fun things with this, and I love it. And here's the thing I wanted to talk about, because I love this. I like this card. And remember, I said, even though you like the card, doesn't mean it's optimal for your deck. But I was looking at it, I said, it's only meant for, like, if I ever get that matchup where I was like, I need to lock their field. I need to shut them down right now. They have a couple cards in hand. They probably have like 0 cards in hand because I already. I'm gonna try to whittle them down to like 0 cards, or at least like 0 cards in hand. So next turn they'll probably have 3 or 2, or 4 if they're lucky. So Trans Ellis would be that. So I always thought about like I wanted to play 4. I have the sleeved for a reason because I do plan on using this for another build to have 4 of them, but that requires me to take out another unit. And if you do have like 4 of these and you don't have like 2 big crunches, you can take out the 2 big crunches. Or you can keep those 2 big crunches and just play 4 of these. These are very nice to have as an option, but 2 is the optimal play for my build, or for how I play. But having 4 big crunches, sorry, I just burped. Having 4 big crunches is that's not even big crunch. What are you doing? What am I doing? There they are. Having 4 big crunches is obviously the answer for the whole thing. Just because you're not really going to be... You don't want to go into... Once Trans Ellis happens, they unlock everything at the same time, and you're just like, alright, I can't really do much. But it makes a nice secondary play if you just want to draw cards, and you can pace the game to be a little bit longer. I definitely think that the 4 Big Crunch, 2 Trans Ellis, 3 Amnesties, 2 Excelix, 1 Seabreeze, for G Guardians is definitely the best build for your G deck for Messiahs. Does it make it optimal for anywhere else? The Trans Ellis is not really that important, but it's nice to have. It's a nice seat filler as well, and it does screw over your opponent while you take all the glory of what you need to do. But that's about it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I want to know what your thoughts about this deck are. And I know it's been a while, and I apologize that it's taken me so long, but the 16G zone thing is very important to me. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.